Hello and welcome to Nigerian Movies Today, coming to you from the network service of the NTA, where we celebrate Nigeria's vibrant and thriving creative industry, Nollywood. My name is Ifomo Dimba. Let's begin the show with the movie of the week.
Hey, Mom. What's going on?
I am traveling.
London? Paris?
Home.
Our movie of the week is The Lost Days. Set in Abeokuta, The Lost Days tells the story of Chisom, a wealthy woman in remission from lymphoma, travels in search of reconciliation with a family she left behind.
Chisom, my old friend from Lagos.
I'll let you talk.
As she tries to rebuild the fractured relationships in order to find peace, unexpected events began to unfold. The theme of the movie is centered on love, abandonment, and reconciliation.
You like it, I don't like mommy. Who are you? No, Kola, I say, who are you?
The movie is written by Abdul TJ and Paul S. Roston, produced by Steve Gukas, Dotun Olakunri, Chioma Eziani, and Bola Atta. Directed by Wingonia Ikbi. The movie stars Ifeoma Fafunwa, Bimbo Manu, Baja Debule, Cynthia Clark, and Durotimi Okutagidi.
There's the festival coming on soon. If you're around, we can go together.
That would be nice.
The Lost Days explores the complexities of intergenerational conflicts and emotional healing.
In our exclusive guest segment, we have a creative professional who is responsible in translating the director's idea into a formidable visual masterpiece by incorporating elements and components.
Our exclusive guest this week is Leo Omoseebi. Born on 20th April 1977 in Okitipupa and hails from Ode-Irele local government area of Ondo State, Nigeria. Leo Omoseebi, known primarily for his work in film and television productions, is a production designer, art director, and set designer on big and small screens. He began his primary education at Rabiatu Thompson Crescent, Lagos. He went to Unity Secondary School at Ode-Aye, Ondo State, and Federal Academy, Suleja. Leo Omoseebi proceeded to University of Lagos, where he bagged BH in architecture, equivalent to MSc. He has several credits in television programming, in drama, reality TV shows, game shows, talk shows, musical videos, and commercials, spanning over a decade. Some of such are Tinsel on African Magic Productions 2011 to 2022, Fund It Forward for Channels Television 2023 to 2024, At Ease 2024, A Father's Love for Natives Filmworks 2024, and Funmilayo Ransom Kuti for BAP Productions 2024. Leo Omoseebi, the principal designer at Leo's Patani Design Suite based in Lagos, Nigeria, has extensive professional experience in the creation of film and stage sets, office renovation, interior remodeling, with specific competencies in studio design and soundproofing. In addition to his expertise in film and design, Leo Omoseebi has served as a trainer and a mentor, recently in the capacity building workshop for youth and undergraduates in film making, organized by National Film and Video Censors Board, NFVCB, in partnership with Lagos-based universities, where he took sessions on creative designs. Leo Omoseebi, known for his shaping emerging talent in Nigerian film industry, is the Director of Communications at the Project Victory Call Initiative, PVC Naija, a political advocacy group. He is currently the National Secretary General of the Creative Designers Guild of Nigeria, an umbrella association of costume designers, makeup and hairstylists, props managers, and set designers. he has also carved a niche for himself in the audio-visual sector of the creative economy. Help me welcome one of our home behind-the-scene practitioners in the Nigerian movie industry to the set of Nigerian Movies Today on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
At ease. When I saw the trailer, it was so emotional because you could relate with the story.
For At Ease, I have a brother serving in the military. So when I read At Ease, I told him, you need to watch the story. When we were doing a down for Christmas, one of my assistants when he watched At Ease, he was like, oh God, this film should be screened in every military formation in the country. Seriously. A lot of people think the military is a job where there's a lot of machismo, swag, but these are people that put themselves in the line of fire every day. And it is not a tea party. It is something that people lose life, they lose limb. And we got to work with locals within the space. Even to shoot in the Dede village, we had to work with the Joint Task Force, to make sure that, because when you're working in a farm, you want to ensure that what you are building looks like what is real, like what these people actually do. And the producers kept telling me, and the director, that look, guy, we don't want something too pretty. We want something that comes close to home. So the settlement space we got, so we had a wrangler, very great guy. His name is Daddy, Ibrahim Daddy, who was able to help us get a good location, which was scouted. So it was a great production. It's easily one of my best because for the tonality of the story and how it speaks, because every Nigerian knows somebody that knows a military officer.
Yes.
And it brought to mind what they go through, At Ease was very commendable for me. I liked it. I will encourage everybody to watch it.
Okay, so especially, how were you able to realize the bombing scene?
So the sets were rigged. So when you bomb, when it's not visual effects, when it's actual.
Was it actual?
It was actual. We bombed the place. So we made sure we had shot all our scenes, because you can't come back and say, this shot want to. So we had rigged the place. So we had to shoot. We took all our scenes. Then they rigged the place, basically petrol bombs and, should I say, wiring and all of that. So it was detonated. And of course, the camera has to be positioned for maximum effect, and what have you. And then we also had to be careful, and credit to Hakeem, because we are using an actual farmland. So
that's why I said, was it real?
Yes. So it needs to be, a bomb is anything that explodes.
Yes.
So you now have different levels of bombing. It's not atomic or nuclear. So what we did was to rig the space in such a way that once you have the explosive flare and the combustion, you can quickly control the fire. Because in as much as you rented a farmland, you also don't want to harm the other farmlands. Heat is a factor, destruction of property. And we shot sometime in May, June. Farm products too. We shot sometime in May, June, so it was raining at some point. And for At Ease production, we had a break in shoot. So when we went back to set, it was good for us because some of the things we had built had aged appropriately, and we just needed to do minor refurbishments.
So in all of these productions, even the ones I didn't mention, which one can you say is the most challenging?
Maybe the most challenging would have been productions where you are doing things the first time. Tinsel was my first formative learning job, as it were, because, like I said in an earlier forum, when you design, so an art director does floor plans. So floor plans are the basic movement, so it allows the director to plot. So in TV, unlike film, in TV you do a lot of plotting. So when you do a floor plan in a 3-camera shoot, the director moves an actor by blocking them across space. So you find out that when you do a design of a floor plan, you forget that because you are using wood to build a set, there are certain ways you should position your openings so that you don't waste material. I learned that in Tinsel. I worked in Tinsel for 10 years, and in my first year, it was a bit, you had to soak up a lot of information, which is not readily available. and some of us are now committed to make sure those information is available, because people that come into the industry need to build up a lot of information quickly.
You've done set designing for stage, right?
Yes, I have.
So what's the difference when working?
The difference is your stage space is actually very small. The stage space is also live, because your stage space is like your backstage. Actors are changing in between takes. And you have a situation whereby, unlike before, so when we were in school, when we did set designs, we had a strike team who would strike the set and turn it around. And there was usually an agreement that there will be a blackout period and you need to swing within 1 minute or 1 minute 30 seconds. But I have seen that in stage, there has been a progression to making stage come as close to screen, whereby there's no blackout. So you find out that when you do a set, you want a set that minimal strike time. When we did Mad King of Judea, for instance, we had a set before the King Herod set, so we needed to swap things quickly. So stage design is such that it's still very heavily dependent on the director's vision too, and of course, you cannot do too much paparazzi, because you need people to be able to move in and move out, because stage is a lot of entry and exits,
Yes.
as it were. Whereas for screen, you are not seeing it in real time. So you are just shooting, you can make your cuts, you can edit as the case may be. So safety is very important in stage, how to quickly move in and out, and making sure that the set you are doing is stable, because stage is powerful. People are jumping up and down, they are dancing. So, and safety too, because some of the way you brace your sets, you work with wood, nails. You want to make sure that, please don't come here. So ultimately, you're always asking the director, where's your backstage? You can't use this place. You make room. Mozon Center is a recital hall, even though it has been used for a lot of stage productions. So you find out that your backstage is left right of stage near the gallery where they run to the back. So you have to do that, and you have to show your floor plans on time, so that the stage manager knows that, okay, my actors, if I need to move them quickly into set, what's the travel time? And sometimes it affects your design,
Yes.
and there's a compromise.
In your view, do you think stage design, set designing in Nollywood have really done so well? Do you know why I'm asking that question?
Yes.
There are some movies we watch. I'm talking about movie especially.
Okay.
There are some movies we watch, and immediately you I know this house now. Isn't it this house that they used to act? I'm just telling you from a viewer's point.
Yes.
The way we react. That was the house they used in acting so movie now. That's the same. So
Yes.
how do I know we can't totally avoid it, but in your view, how do you think we can do it so that viewers don't get to know like, is this house, the same gate, the same, how do we avoid such thing?
Money. The thing is this, to be able to revamp a set or a space to look different, you are going to invest in painting and surface treatment. There are some people that say, please don't touch my walls, because ideally you are meant to return the wall to what you met. Then in some places, some people haven't had bad experiences will tell you, don't touch my walls. But when you have the right amount of money to compel the person and say, okay, we'll pay you for your inconvenience. Who painted your wall for you? Bring them to us. We'll tell them the color to paint for our production, and we'll give them the resources to paint back. I've done an ad for cable providers, and we needed to change the color of the space to the brand color. What happened? We talked to the person, we changed. So for some of these productions in Nollywood, the timing is short, the budget is not there, so people move things around. And because Nollywood is not necessarily very cinematic in certain areas, in cinema, you can use lighting to disguise how a place looks like. For instance, in the Lekki axis that we shoot, where the walls are white, all the walls are white, you can use lighting to make a wall look a bit different. Again, producers are the ones that know how much they are putting into a project and what they can make out of it. So a producer decides, I'm not spending this money. You can't force it. Now, interestingly, is a bigger art director who may have had a catalog of items, right, can make changes. But then, if you now tell a producer, okay, will you be interested in using a little bit extra funds for me to carry things around and change? There's that conversation. But because we shoot sometimes in breakneck speeds, Sometimes you get to a location and you're seeing it for the first time. And you're like, what can we do? You get to a location today, you want to shoot tomorrow. You're like, there's limits to what you can do. And you don't want to cause stress on set. So you basically believe that with blocking and camera work, you minimize what you're seeing. But ultimately it's a budget thing. Some of the people that have done low budget production, when they move higher, we've seen how they have tried to pay for what they did in the past by saying, money day now, let's do the right thing. But you see, the consumption of the media on YouTube, it's what it is. When you go to cinema, cinema movies use the same things, right? We've had situations where we go and use the same spaces for music videos and we say, we must change. But ultimately, it's a money constraint. It is always a money constraint.
Okay, before we let you go, we also know you're a trainer and you're a mentor. So how do you feel in impacting on emerging talents in filmmaking?
So anybody who works in the film industry has to be a trainer. Because again, the people that work with you need to understand the job. So there's always a virtuous cycle of training and training. I'm a member of a guild, Creative Designers Guild of Nigeria. We are the umbrella body for costume designers, makeup and hair artists, prop managers, and set designers. In our guild, we always moot for continuous training of members, whereby you see the new things happening in the world and you consciously imbibe professional etiquette. So I was involved with sometime last year with the Census Board when they were training university students. It's always an opportunity that we put our heart into because you must train people. There's this thing that they said, a finance guy told the CEO, let us not spend too much money training people. Well, what if they go somewhere else? And the CEO goes, what if they stay? They'll be spoiling my work if they don't train. So we do that both at the professional level of my guild and in personal capacities. When you go to some Instagram pages, some YouTube pages, you see people that talk about stuff. Not many talk about set design. A lot talk about cinematography. A lot talk about makeup. A good number talk about costume. But not many talk about set design because in costume, you can talk about colors, which are also synonymous with our own spaces. But for set design, you need to talk about equipment. You need to talk about processes.
Yes.
You need to talk about etiquette. In set design, we use workmen, construction crew who can be carpenters, metal workers, art and signage experts. So you work with a small army of people. So you need to train people. But the training starts from design and having an aesthetic eye. The people that work for me, I start training them from how an elevation looks and how a floor plan looks. Ultimately, we train. We have no choice but to train. And in my guild, CDGN, we train. We are in 12 chapters all over the country. And at the state level, we constantly encourage our members to get training and all of that. Part of our annual schedule of activities is training, in-house training. And then we are part of training. We also know that there are a lot of academies that are training people, they are all over the place. And we always welcome people to join us to learn more. Because again, until you are in the industry, in a structured association, you might think it's a haphazard space, but it is not.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. When you have a professional like this, you don't know how time flies. Thank you so much, Leo Omoseebi. I'm very particular about the name, so I get it right for coming to our studios. It's a pleasure having you on our studios on Nigerian Movies Today. We wish you well in your future endeavor. Next is interesting movies to watch.
Interesting movies to watch this week are Reverse.
You don't know.
I don't know.
What you want? Wait, Jesus! Hey! I swear, this boy no go come up for yet if you no pay this money.
Just leave his shit now. Where is the boy now?
I don't run. See what you cause. See what you cause. Why you let the boy escape? Why you put your mouth for waiting to concern you?
What are you doing?
You no go come up for here until you pay for those things where they for ground there. You don't buy hard debt. Because say she stopped you to the beat person over something where
And The Art of Art.
Did you hear the noise those people made this morning? If I complain now in the essay group chat, they'll start calling me names. I hope you can see.
Yeah, but I mean, you usually get that backlash because you actually insult people's children.
Can you please hold your little monster? Can you tell it to give me my sharpener?
Or else what? You beat me. We're literally the same height. Scratch that. I'm taller than you.
Why are you so troublesome?
We're being evicted. You are the new landlord.
You now have 3 weeks to move your bad business out of my property.
The best thing to do right now is for you to call your dad.
Several actors and actresses are carving a niche for themselves in Nollywood and are worth keeping an eye on. In our Star to Watch, let's find out the rising talent that is blazing the trail.
Our star to watch this week is Oreoluwa Rachel Awolowo, popularly known as Nora Awolowo, a Nigerian film director, cinematographer, documentary photographer, producer, and creative director. Awolowo was born on the 2nd of March 1999 in Lagos State, Nigeria, where she also lived all her life and attended both primary and secondary school. She studied accounting at Ekiti State University. Awolowo, a self-taught director, developed a passion for directing through online tutorials. In 2019, a short documentary, Life at the Bay, was selected at the Africa International Film Festival. Awolowo has some wins to her credit. In 2019, she won 25 Under 25 SME Awards for Best Media and Communications Person. In 2023, she won AMVCA's Best Documentary for Nigeria, the debut. She has produced and directed films and documentaries such as Symphonies, Life at the Bay, David, Baby Blues, The Order of Things, Dear Men, Lishabi, What Are You Truly Afraid Of, All Lives Matter, and very recently, Red Circle. Nora Awolowo is our emerging star to watch.
I never entered the industry like there was a limitation. I think that was a very good thing for me. I just wanted to create, I just wanted to shoot, I just wanted to film and let the world see what I was doing. My name is Nora Awolowo. I'm a cinematographer based in Nigeria.
Entertaining and juicy stories on our moments and events.
That's it, man. Full blackout, man.
Wow. Filmmakers often create unique stories that explore diverse genres from drama to thriller, horror films as well as action films. Dead Tide is such an action movie that centers its story on a reformed Niger Delta militant whose life changed after the tragic death of his sister. However, his quiet existence was thrown into chaos when some content creators accidentally captured murder committed by the president's son.
Grab those ladies. Get their phone.
I love the movie. Like, it's an action-based movie, and I'll rate the movie a solid 8.5 over 10. The cast selection, check. Itoro nailed it, and I love the fact that most of this cast, we see what they act.
Action is not something that a lot of producers do, and you just need to find people that are passionate about it and are comfortable doing stunts.
The major actors in the film describe the movie for us.
Dead Tide was a rigorous film. I mean, because we also had a bunch of fight choreography in it. But besides that, I think it was a pretty good film.
I think that men in uniform go through a lot, and we don't get to see that often. So here we get to see what people like that actually go through. Even when you're out of the game, trouble seems to follow you everywhere you go. It's difficult for you to just have a stable life, a stable relationship, and I think this story does justice to that.
Dead Tide was premiered recently in Lagos with top actors, directors, influencers, content creators in attendance. It is a must-watch movie. Remember, Films can influence culture, spark conversations, and inspire change, making them a significant force in society.
Thank you so much for staying with us on the program Nigerian Movies Today, coming to you from the network service of the NTA. It's quite an engaging episode where we have a professional that educated us on set designing. My name is Ifeoma Dimba. To keep a date with us next week. Bye-bye and God bless you.